A very good morning to you. This is Business Morning on Channels Television. I am BC Adebayo. President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday announced an extension of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown in Lagos, Ogo and Abuja by one more week and thereafter a relaxation of the directives on May the 4th. The president also talked about the signing of an MOU on the provision of hazard allowances as part of measures to improve the welfare of healthcare workers. Let's take a listen.
In keeping with our government's promise to improve the welfare of healthcare workers, we have signed a memorandum of understanding on the provision of hazard allowances and other incentives with key health sector professional associations. We have also procured insurance cover for 5,000 frontline health workers. At this point, I must commend the insurance sector for their support in achieving this within a short period of time. Nigeria has also continued to receive support from the international community, multilateral agencies, the private sector, and public-spirited individuals. This support has ensured that critical life-saving equipment and materials, which have become scarce globally, are available for Nigeria through original equipment manufacturers and government-to-government processes. The distribution and expansion of palliatives, which I directed in my earlier broadcast, is still ongoing in a transparent manner. I am mindful of the seeming frustration being faced by expectant citizens. I urge all potential beneficiaries to exercise patience as we continue to fine-tune our logistical and distribution processes, working with the state governments.
President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, is still talking about improving the welfare of workers. Now, today is the World Day of Safety and Health. It's a date set aside by the International Labour Organization to promote the prevention of occupational accidents and diseases globally through international attention. And this is even more significant at a time when governments, employers, workers and their organizations face the enormous challenge of combating the COVID-19 pandemic while bracing up for resumption next week. The Executive Director for Strategy, Capital Projects and Portfolio Management or Development at Dangote Group of Companies, Mr. Devakuma Edwin, joins us now to talk more about this. Good morning, Mr. Edwin. Let's begin with you relating the World Day of Safety and Health with the President's speech relaxing the lockdown from Monday and, of course, calling for appropriate measures to be taken while workers return.
Madam, the President took the right decisions at the right stage. As you are aware, we cannot have a solution which fits all. The countries are different, the economies are different, and the situations are different. For example, even about 2-3 weeks back, there have been a lot of problems in several countries, including Kenya, including India, where I saw people going out on streets and saying, it's better for us to die of coronavirus than because of starvation. So, you can see in a country like US, where 25 million people have already gone into unemployment. And in a country like Nigeria, where most of the people, a large amount of people live on day-to-day income. It could be artisans, it could be casual workers, it could be traders. So most of them live on income which comes on day-to-day earnings. So we cannot have a one-suit-fits-all solution for each country. But the President took a very bold step of shutting down the country for 5 weeks, which would have given a very good break, and which can be seen from the results. As we can see, the number of deaths in Nigeria is relatively very, very small compared to most of the countries in the rest of the world. So now, as other countries are doing, the President is taking a step to gradual easing out. He has not fully opened out. He has put curfews for more than 12 hours a day. So, but at the same time, he's allowing the the economy to open out, is allowing the people to go out to find their employment. So the president has taken the right step at the right time.
Well, could you please tell us some of the occupational safety and health risk arising from the spread of COVID-19 and how this day actually offers an opportunity for authorities to brace up for a managed resumption next week?
Sorry, madam, can you please repeat the question? I couldn't get it clear.
So I was asking if you could tell us some of the occupational safety and health risks, of course, that have come from the spread of COVID-19 and how a day like this would actually provide an opportunity for the authorities to manage resumption when work begins next week.
Okay. What I can do is I start from telling what we are doing in our company, which would be a kind of a model for others also to follow. One is, in all our companies, at the entrance, whether it's a factory, whether it is an office, now kept temperature monitoring system. So as you walk in, the camera captures your temperature. So if anyone entering our office or a factory with fever, it could be identified at the gate, and the persons could be advised, gentlemen or lady, you have a fever, please go back and get yourself checked. So that's the first stage of screening and eliminating anyone with potential coronavirus. The fever could be for any reason, but we do the screening at the gate. So that is the first stage which we do. Then, as they enter in, we provide them with sanitizers so they can sanitize their hands, and as they are coming from outside, when they go and open the door handle, or whether they are going to use the push button in the lift, their hands are already sanitized. So that is a second measure of protection which we are doing. And the third measure is what the president has announced, what the Lagos state has announced, that try and use mask. The issue is the mask is not going to protect you from the virus in any way, but the mask will protect others. From if you are having the virus, it will protect others from getting the virus from you. So the mask is not for the self-protection, but the mask is for protection of everybody else who is around you. So we insist on using the face mask. So that is the third level of protection. And then going further, we have educated our persons to be constantly, frequently wash their hands, because we are walking along, we are still touching some surfaces, we are still touching papers. There could be a possibility of the virus getting transmitted.